Good morning, good morning. This is Jacqueline Richardson, Miss JJ Diamond, Jackie Deja, whatever y'all call me. Well, today I'm going to talk to y'all about respecting the driver. In other words, anyone that's behind the wheel that's driving you, whether it be a bus, train, plane, car. Now, I talked to y'all last night about me being behind the wheel, and I had to carry anywhere from 17 to 23 children and one bus aide I was responsible for when I got behind that wheel. When we see our city buses come through, that one driver that's in front that opens the door for you and lets you in is responsible for your life when you get on that bus. It's not an easy job. Okay? We have to make sure that we're not impaired, and not just impaired with alcohol or weed. We're talking even medication. Medication that can make us sleepy. Medication that can take us into a drowse. Okay, and some of these medications, they say on the box, non-drowsy, but depending on who the person is, it can make them sleepy. Some people can't even drive clearly when they're upset. Like, I'm one of those people. When I'm upset, I got to get from behind the wheel. So that's why I tell my kids, when you get in the car with me, don't argue with me. You shut your mouth, because I'll pull over. Because if I don't pull over, I might crash us into something. I had to tell my kids that one day. I said, listen here, leave me the hell alone, because I'm crashing to this tree over here. Y'all stop it now. Now, this is just facts, okay? Anytime you're behind the wheel driving someone, you are responsible for each and every one of those lives. Now, I was watching a video just now. I shared it on Facebook, and the bus driver looked like it was a mega bus. And I guess I don't know if it was college kids or whatever. They was acting a fool. She was already behind 2 hours, okay? She has a family to get home to. We don't know if her child is at daycare and the next person has to go to work or whatever the case may be or what's going on in her life. But she has to get back and she has to make a living. This is what we do. However, the people on the bus was acting crazy, and she got up and she told them, yo, chill, like, stop. She went off on them, and I agree with her. Okay, I mean, I hope her company don't fire her, because she has to be in the right state of mind to get on a highway with all these people on the bus. And if they're acting irate and making things hard for her, what is she supposed to do? So, I say that to say, people, when you get on a bus, have some home training. Just like the girl said, have some home training. When you're on a school bus, have some home training. Because that person driving that vehicle could snap at any given moment and crash your asses into a tree, a building, a ditch. They can lose control of the vehicle because they are so upset, or the noises is disrupting to their brain. Put your little AirPods in your ear and fall back and enjoy the ride. That's the way it's done. Y'all ain't got to be on the bus screaming, hollering, fighting, cursing, flipping out. You ain't got to do all that. Because your life is at stake, because somebody else has your life in their hands. It don't matter whether you get on a plane, train, automobile, or bus. Respect it, because you may not return home. This is why we say put God first. And if you put God first, you would know you respect those that put your life in their hands and took that oath to protect you, went to school to get the skill to protect you while they're taking you from one destination to the next. This is the way it's done. First, I want to shout out to all the CDL drivers, airplane drivers, train drivers. I want to shout out to y'all and thank y'all for your service. You know, I had took a plane over to LA, right? And the pilot, it was funny because, you know, the pilot, when you get ready to get off the plane, the pilot will come and, greet you, at the door. So the pilot, he came, so he's standing by the door, and I'm about to get off the plane. And I stopped there, and I shook his hand, and I said, thank you, thank you. And he smiled, right? So the girl that was one of those I forget what they call them. The girls that serve you on the plane, I forget what they call them. But anyway, so she looked at me all crazy. So I looked at her and I said, well, I had to thank him because he landed this plane and I'm still alive. And she was like, oh, yeah. Because you could have been dead too. But he got us here to L.A. I'm standing in LAX. Straight from BWI. So, I was thankful. I know it ain't much to crash into in the air, but you can come down and crash on the ground. But he made sure he got, and it was a smooth landing. You hear me? He brought that thing in. That's why I had to shake his hand. I was like, because normally I just say thank you for your service, but I had to shake his hand. I was like, yo, that was the smoothest landing I ever had. Thank you. There was no bumping around, none of that. Now, the guy on the way back from LA, that was a little crazy. But it wasn't his fault because it was pockets in the air, air pockets or whatever they was going on up there. And I felt like I was on a train. But we made it. And I said, Jesus. And when we got off, I was so sleepy. I looked at him. I said, thank you. But I kept on going. I was like, but he got me here. Thank you, Jesus. I can see my babies. So y'all got to take that thing a little bit serious. You know what I mean? When you are on a plane or a train or, wherever, where there's transportation, where somebody has your life in their hands. Respect these drivers. And thank them when you get off. Say, hey, thank you. Have a good day. Because you don't know they're human beings too. They go through, just like you go through problems, they go through problems too. But they still have to report to work to do a duty that they signed a contract on. No matter what they're going through. They could have had sleepless nights. They could, child could have woke up sick at night and they had to sit in a hospital and still turn around and go to work. They could have been stressed all day. They could be going through illnesses that they don't even know about. But they're under pressure. I can speak for them because I'm one of them. Because I possess a CDL as well. A lot of people say, you don't want to go drive the bus, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I don't know. I got to think about it. Because I know how I get when I get under stress. I can be okay under stress, under pressure. But when it gets too bad, like what this girl experienced, I know I would have spazzed out too. And I would have called my boss and said, listen, send another driver. I'm going to make these people sit here. I can't drive. I'm on my way back home. That's how I would have carried it. I'm not driving this bus. You send another person. Because your passengers, is bugging. And I refuse to drive them. And these are the people that you sell tickets to. That's beating me down mentally. So I say that to say, think, people, when somebody's carrying your life. Like I wrote on the post on Facebook, she could have sacrificed all of them. In other words, got on that road all stressed out, ran into a ditch and killed every one of them, and herself, because some people snap like that. So you can't be messing with someone's mental when they have your life in their hands. This is just the facts. I just talked to y'all yesterday about the little boy that got killed because the man was running from the police and he ran into a ditch and killed the kid. Oh, of course he didn't mean to do it, but it happened. So when you think about a bus with 50, 60 people on it, maybe sometime even 100 when it's those double loaders, you can't be on there acting all foolish and crazy and making all this noise, and you sit down. Act right. So the driver can focus. Because it's a mental job. Safety first. So when that driver gets behind that wheel, their mind has to be right. They got to know what they're doing. They can't be tired. They can't be stressed. And they have to know that they're able to take this trip. And that's one of the reasons why I personally don't want to drive the bus here in Charlotte. Because I have bad allergies and I drive through some of these areas and I'll get into a patch area and my allergies just take over. And I say, oh my gosh, I can't breathe. Or if I can't breathe, I can't see. I can't put people's lives in jeopardy like that. And I wouldn't want the bus company to do that. Because I care too much. So with that being said, y'all think. Now, like, my area, I was going to do school bus because in my area, they have cut down most of the trees that make me sick. So I could go pretty much anywhere from my area all the way up to University. When I first got here, I couldn't even drive through University without having medication in my body. They have gotten rid of those trees that make me sick. So on this side of town, I'm good. So that's why I was going to drive school bus. I was thinking about it. Because I know I'll be okay in my area. But then I told myself, I don't know. I'll still think about it. Because there's some days I could wake up and my allergies are good. Some days I wake up and I feel a mess. I could barely drive myself to work and be thankful when I get there. I'm praying all the way. See, at my job, I stand up and, I could be sick for a moment until my medicine kicks in. Yeah. But I'm going to let you guys go. I have an important call coming in, and I need to take this call. But I just wanted to let y'all know that. Y'all respect the people that is carrying your life. I love y'all. I'll talk to y'all soon. This is Miss JJ Diamond, Jackie Deja. whatever y'all call me. I'll talk to y'all soon.